Peace, it's Now Waves, and today I'm going to be breaking down exactly how I got these plaques and how you can too. Alright, so I grew up around music. I wasn't like a child piano prodigy, but my mother, she used to give me keyboards for my birthdays. And so I used to just play around with them, just make sounds, make beats with my brother. And I didn't even know it was making beats at that time. That's just what I was doing though. I came out the womb playing African drums, djembe and dundum. So if any of you know those drums, that's my musical instrument of choice. That's what I grew up playing. You know, my pops, he put me on that really early. I was on stage drumming with our family group when I was like 2. So music has always been around me. When I was around 7, I remember asking my dad to show me how he makes his songs, because he used to make songs specifically just for the family so that we could all vibe to him. And I asked him, yo, how do you do that? And he put me on. He showed me, like, this is how you do it. He was using a program called Mixcraft. That became like my game at that age. So while some kids would play Roblox, some kids would be on, you know, on this computer playing like whatever, I was on a computer playing Mixcraft like a game. Now, I wasn't grinding from 7 to 23. That's not my story, you know, but I'm just telling you, like, I had a musical background somewhat. So when I get to, like, fast forward past elementary, I wasn't really making music then. Middle school, I really wasn't making music. I was in and out of band. It was when I got to high school, 8th grade going into 9th grade, that summer, Future was going crazy. I was like, how do I make beats like this? I need to learn how to make beats that sound like this. In high school, Future was going crazy. Think about those mixtapes. Monster, 56 Nights, Beast Mode. I was like, how do I make beats like this? So I looked it up on YouTube. Came across Metro Boomin, Zaytoven, Sunny Digital, Southside. I'm watching all the vlogs. I'm watching all the tutorials. And I start putting that work in. So I start making beats on FL Studio. Got a little setup, you know, started saving up a little bit of money and got a little Focusrite, got some Yamaha HS5s, got a mic, had a MIDI keyboard for my birthday that I got, and I'm good. Now I'm really making beats. So it was in high school where I started making beats for like people around me, like sending beats to my friends and sending beats to like different Charlotte artists, local artists and stuff like that. And I ended up getting a little bit of traction. You know, I got a song with 10 Cell Phones that went crazy. He was a Charlotte artist at the time. And when I say went crazy, it got like 100,000 views or something like that. That was going crazy for me at that time because I'm like, I'm brand new, right? So during this time, I also started to post heavy on YouTube. Like I was posting every day, posting beats every single day on YouTube. I'm capped out. I wasn't posting beats every day. I was posting beats like every other day to every other week. Like I was very inconsistent. I'm mixing myself up when I got out. All right, let me just bring this back. When I was in high school, I wasn't consistent on the posting. I was posting a lot of stuff, but I was posting like a Lil Pump instrumental, and then I'll post a Pierre Bourne type beat, and then I'll post a G Herbo type beat. Like I was all over the place with what I was posting on YouTube, and it was not consistent at all, but I was posting a lot. So I ended up posting you know, an instrumental by Playboi Carti for the song Lame N-Words, right? I'm not saying it because I'm not trying to get flagged. But it was a Pierre Bourne beat. I posted it on my page, and all of a sudden, people were hitting me up like, yo, this person used your beat. I'm like, who? Asian Doll. Asian Doll should use your beat. So remember, this is like 26, 17, something like that. And Asian Doll was like, she was popular. You know, all the dolls were coming out. Asian Doll, Dream Doll, Cash Doll. And she ended up using that beat to make a remix to that song. And she freestyled over it. So people, they knew my tag. My tag at the time was Now Got the Wave. So they kept hitting me up, people in my school, yo, Asian Doll use your beat, Asian Doll use your beat. I'm like, that's not really my beat. I was trying to explain to people like it's an instrumental. So I reproduced it, but it's not really my beat. They're like, man, that's your beat. So you got to hit her up. I'm like, hit her up for what? Like, it's not my beat. But everybody kept telling me to hit her up. So I was like, you know what? I'm going to hit her up. So I DM her on Instagram. I'm like, I made this. Can I send you some of my like official stuff? Like, let me send you some of my original beats. And she said, yeah. She gave me her Instagram. I was like, okay, cool. So I got a bigger artist that I could send beats to now. So I started sending her a lot of beats, and she didn't really send me nothing back. But what she did do was she took videos of herself rapping on the stuff that I made. And so now I'm looking and I see my beat on Instagram and it's got like 30,000 views with her in a car, like rapping, 100 something comments. I'm like, okay, like we got a lot of people like this song. It's my beat though. So I take that and I put it on my page. So I'm lit. I'm like, oh yeah, I'm there. Like I'm about to be on. That song never came out, bro. That song never came out. I'm like, bro, like, I didn't understand that you could send a beat to an artist, the artist could use it, they could promote it, and then never drop it. That was the first time I had experienced something like that. It's just what happens, right? So that's like 2018. I'm in high school, and I'm just still sending her beats and stuff, sending other Charlotte artists beats and stuff like that. But nothing's really going anywhere for real. Like I'm not very consistent either. So I move on to college. Once I get to college, I'm way less focused than I was in high school. And I already told you I wasn't consistent in high school. But when I got to college, I was way less focused. Why? You already know why. We got girls, we got parties, girls. That's what we got. So that's all I'm focused on. I'm not even focused on school at this point. Let's be real. Like I'm not, right? So it was lit. I was a DJ, so stuff was lit. But at the same time, I would still, send beats here and there. One of those beats that I sent in that here and there pack, Asian Doll ended up using. I got a text from an Alamo person, somebody at Alamo, it's a record label. Alamo's a record label. And they said, we want to clear this beat that Asian Doll used. Now, this is the first time I ever had gotten hit up by like a label person. So I didn't know what to do. So I just forwarded the message to my dad and he said, okay, send me the contract. I sent him the contract and, he sent it to my uncle. My uncle checked it out. He said, okay, this is legit. I got it back. They said, we'll pay you $1,500 for the beat. I'm like, 15? Okay. Okay, now I'm seeing like different type of numbers. Like remember, I'm selling beats for like $10, $20 at this point. Like I'm young, like I don't really know the business. I'm just doing whatever. Telling me $1,500 for one beat? Bet. So I get that advance. After that, I'm like, yo, if I do 100 beats, I get $100,000. That's really how I'm thinking. But I'm not gonna lie, after that, what I should have done was I should have doubled down on producing. It just went even harder. That's not what I did. I just went back to doing what I was doing in school. So I didn't really capitalize off of that opportunity in that moment. She was signing Gucci Mane at that point. I could have hit up some of the artists around them. I could have asked her to like bring me wherever she was at so I could work with her in person. Whatever, I could have done some more work to try to capitalize off of that opportunity, but I didn't. So to those of you who are watching this right now, if you ever have an opportunity to work with an artist who maybe she's not or he's not that big, but they may have access to bigger people, nurture that relationship, right? So now I'm in school, pandemic hits. I gotta go back home. I ain't gonna lie, the pandemic was kind of like weird, like depressing in a sense, because I didn't have a room now. I came back home, my siblings took over my room. I'm on the couch. I think my bank account was like, it wasn't looking good, I'll tell you that. There was some days where I was in the negatives. Like it was that bad. So I'm like burnt, like what is going on? Playing games, waking up, making a few beats here and there, playing a lot of video games though. Not really staying focused, going out, doing stuff with friends that is not productive at all. And then something told me like to just sit down with myself and be real. And I had to think about what it is that I actually wanted out of life and what it is that I wanted to do. And I started thinking, and I said, man, I'm trying to produce. I really want to produce. I really want to produce for really big artists. And I want to make that a thing for myself, a thing for my life. So what did I do? I started making beats. Heavy, every day. Giving a whole bunch of time and attention to making beats. More than I ever had. This is around the time where I decided to sell my PS4. I got rid of the games. I uninstalled this game off of my laptop called Rift. Rift was the funnest game ever to me. And it was almost like World of Warcraft. It was like a World of Warcraft copy, PC game. Uninstalled that. I stopped watching so much Netflix. My days look like this. Wake up, make beats, go to sleep. Around this time, I discovered this book called Think and Grow Rich. And in that book, the author, Napoleon Hill, goes into how we can use the power of our minds in order to make any reality that we see in our minds a reality in the real world. Like we can make anything materialize if we put in the work towards it and keep that faith that it can happen. So I started doing a lot of visualizing. I started doing a lot of affirmations like, I'm gonna produce for this artist. I got a song with this artist. I got a song with this artist. Now I see it in my mind. I'll be like, yeah, I'm gonna have my plaques in my hand. I'm gonna be posing with a peace sign. Like I was seeing it in my mind. And then I was putting in the work every day to make it happen. So at this time, my strategy was I'm gonna post every day on YouTube. I'm gonna try to get one of the biggest YouTube channels because I know that, you know, type beat YouTube channels, rappers can find them and you could get a song off of that. And you could get paid a lot of money for your beats on your type beat channel. So I was like focused on that. And in my pursuit of building that channel, I came across something that would change my producer trajectory and career forever. What did I come across? Now at this time, I was listening to a lot of Atlanta music. A lot of Slime Life Shawty, a lot of Lil Baby, a lot of Lil Gotit, a lot of Lil Key, you know, a lot of Young Thug. And I was looking for a specific style of loops so that I could make them, you know, make these types of beats for my channel. Lil Baby was going crazy at that time. 2020 Lil Baby was different. He was different. I'm telling you. So I was like, how do I make that my turn sound? Because that sound is crazy. So I was looking up all the melodies I could find. Like I was like, Lil Baby loop kit, Lil Baby my turn loop kit, Lil Baby my turn inspired loop kit. All these different types of loop kits I was trying to find, but none of them were giving me that sound. All of the ones that I found were giving me like that drip too hard, Lil Baby, Gunna, you know, that type of style. And I was like, that's not what I'm looking for. So I was like, you know what? I'm gonna just create it myself. So I started making those types of melodies myself and posting the beats to my channel. And then I thought to myself, well, if nobody's doing this, maybe somebody else is looking for these too. So I solved my own problem and then posted the loop kits on the internet. This is what changed everything. Once I started posting those loop kits, people started hitting me up. Yo, those loops is crazy. Yo, send me your loops. Add me to your email list. Email list? I didn't even have an email list. This is when I discovered that people could get placements from sending loops to other producers. So this is around the time where I'm just going crazy on loop kits. Like I'm posting a loop kit every week. I started posting loop kits on Instagram for free every single week. Hey, free loop kit, post this on your story, tag 3 people, and I'm gonna send this to your DM. Crazy growth in a short amount of time, right? So I started getting people hitting me up, asking me, people that were working with pretty big artists at the time. Yo, can you send me some loops? Can you send me some loops? I need loops for this person. I need loops for that person. Drum God hit me up. He was one of the first people to hit me up. One of Moneybagg Yo's producers. Kai Going Crazy. Y'all probably know him. Doc Playboy. You know what I'm saying? I linked up with my man Quell during that time. 3L the God. 3L the God, he was the person that I got the song Clappers with. Now, if any of y'all know about Clappers, Real Deal Steppers, I'm with Steppers, Bottom Board Rep. Yo, that song went viral. There were people, literally, I remember walking around and hearing that song in Charlotte. I'm like, I'm not even in Atlanta, but people are playing the song. That's how I knew I had one. And I'm gonna tell you something right now. I produced a lot of songs for Slime Like Shawty during this time. This was like late 2020 going into early 2021. I produced like over 4 released songs by him during this time. And that is actually what brought me more attention than anything. So when we talk about like building with an artist and building an artist up, because Slime Like Shawty was literally the hottest artist in Atlanta at that time. Outside of like the established artists, he was the hottest upcoming artist in Atlanta at that time. Working with him got me so much attention and so much respect from other producers who were, you know, working and who had already established themselves. So if you have the opportunity to work with an upcoming artist, don't turn that down. That's a great opportunity for you to build that artist and to build that person's sound. So I got that song. That song came out. It's not okay. Now people are really listening to my music. How did the Pooh Shiesty song come about? Doc Playboy. I sent him some melodies. Next thing you know, Pooh Shiesty. Shiesty Season comes out. Ugly featuring Gucci Mane. Crazy. People know that song. People knew that song. It was going crazy. Now I'm starting to see different type of checks. ASCAP checks, publishing checks. I'm like, I could get used to this, you know? I could get used to this lifestyle. I like this. I like being a producer now. I like being a producer now. Remember how I started. So I'm being consistent with sending out melodies. I'm being consistent. I'm not even posting beats like that anymore. I'm like, yo, I just got to focus on these melodies. I started doing tutorials. There's still somebody that I haven't got a placement with that I need to. You know who that is? It's Lil Baby. So I'm looking up, I'm on Rap Genius. I'm like, who can I send melodies to? I'm sending stuff to Chi Chi. I'm looking for Section 8's email. I'm looking for anybody that I could send these melodies to that even has a chance of getting a beat to Lil Baby, because that's really what my biggest goal is at this time. Now, I had so many beats with Chi Chi. He was actually, shout out to him, he was one of the first people to really show me love and like just tap in with my samples. We have so many beats together, none of them got placed. None of them got placed with Lil Baby. Some of them got placed, but none of them got placed with Lil Baby. So I was a little discouraged by that, because I sent him stuff for a while. It wasn't hitting, but I kept going. And one day, out the blue, this producer named iRock on the Beat hits me up. Now, iRock was a producer that I had known about since 2018 because he had produced for 10 Cell Phones, one of the Charlotte artists that I had started out producing for early in my career, and Asian Doll. So I'm like, yo, this is somebody that I could work with. I was saying that back then. This is somebody that I could work with because we got some of the same placements. So I hit him up like, yo, let's work. And he just liked my message. He didn't respond. So now 2021, you know, is here. And I'm like, I'm bubbling. I'm doing good. You know, I'm hot. And he hits me up like, yo, send me some stuff. I'm like, man, you wasn't trying to work with me back then. But then I had to catch myself. I'm like, would I work with myself? How good I was back then now? Like, based on how good of a producer I was back then, would I have worked with myself? The answer is no. I was trash. I wasn't that good. So I can't even be mad right now. I can't even feel salty right now. I just gotta be real and understand that no, I now am more valuable. I'm a more valuable producer now. So I end up sending him all of my melodies, every single one. And he's sending me back beats. Him and his brother, his twin, DJ Young Pharaoh, they're sending me back beats like almost every other day. Like they're just working on my loops. And one day out the blue, he's like, we got one with Dirk. I'm like, what? Like, yeah, we got one with Dirk. Now remember, this is the time where they're working on the Voice of the Heroes. So I'm like, if we got one with Dirk, then I might have one on the Voice of the Heroes. This is crazy. So I'm like lit, but at the same time, I understand because of my past experience with Asian Doll that just because somebody uses my beat, it doesn't necessarily mean that that beat is coming out. So I'm like, I'm not even gonna get too hype right now. But then a few days later, this producer named B-Ton hits me up. And he sends me a video. He says, yo, this sounds like your sound. And it's Lil Baby and Lil Durk dancing, well, not dancing, but, you know, vibing to a song and making a video. And the music in the background is one of my loops. So I'm like, this is my sound. So I'm like hype at this point. Like I'm like adrenaline pumping, like getting excited. I run upstairs and tell my brother, I'm like, yo, look, I told you I was gonna get one. I told you. Like we was lit, right? And I was just happy, bro, like, cause like I had been working for that for so long. Like I saw it in my mind. I'm like, yo, I'm gonna have plaques. I'm gonna produce for this person, produce for this person. I'm just listening to music all the time. And now to see them like going crazy, shooting a video to something that I had produced, I was like, yo, like this is wild. So I ran to my computer, I ran to my laptop. I'm like, okay, let me just make sure. Let me make 100%. Let me double, triple check that this is my melody. And I found it and I was like, yeah, this is the one. So I posted it on on Instagram. I posted a snippet, right? I took a screen recording of that particular video and then I posted it and people were going crazy in my comments because they knew that that was something that I was working for. They saw me gunning for that and I finally got it. You know, that's this one right here, The Voice of the Heroes, Man of My Word. That's the song. So I shared this to show you a few things. That number one, in order to make this work, in order to make this happen, you gotta focus. You gotta cut off distractions. You gotta cut off bad habits. If you watch too much TV, if you watch too much Netflix, if you play too many games, if you are not consistent, it's not gonna work for you. You gotta be consistent. You gotta show up every day. And you have to literally give it your all. It's like when people are playing basketball, like the best players, they give it their all. They're out there working hard. Like most people don't even understand what it means to give something your all. Like to really gas out. Like I literally can't make another beat. Like I can't make anything else. Like have you ever went that hard? Like really ask yourself, have I ever went that hard? Have I ever went as hard as I could to be consistent? It's like we have this concept of somebody being a tryhard and we make fun of people who are tryhards. Oh, you're a tryhard, you're trying too hard, like you're doing too much. People that do too much, they're the ones that are successful. You could only be successful, like ultra successful, by doing too much, by trying hard, trying your hardest. So this is a message for, especially for those of you who are multi-talented and you could see yourself doing a whole bunch of stuff. Like, yo, I could be a painter, I could be a singer, I could be a writer, I could do computer science. You might have all these different gifts and talents and skills that you could be good at. And you may want to separate your time and divide your time between those so that you could develop a proficiency in all of them at the same time. But what I'm telling you right now is that if you really want this, if you really want this music thing and you want to get these plaques and you want to get these placements, you need to focus the bulk and the majority of your time on this so that you have the best opportunity and chance for success. Because there is somebody else out there who this is all they care about. This is all they're good at. Think about that. This might be all you're good at. Some people might be like, damn, that's a disadvantage, but it could be an advantage. Because if this is the only thing you're good at, you now are like, yo, this is all I'm gonna put my time and energy into. you have a greater chance of success than somebody who's good at a whole bunch of stuff and doesn't know what to choose. And now they're dividing time here, not be consistent here, not be consistent there. They ain't gonna get nowhere. But somebody that's just locked in, zoned in, and focused, sky is the limit. And I think that goes for anything in life, but it definitely goes for music production and getting placements and getting plaques. So I hope you enjoyed this video. Make sure you apply the things that I've taught in this, because I did teach a lot of stuff in this if you were listening. There's a lot of stuff that you could take and you could take with you on your journey. Just extract the gems. Visualization, affirmations, making beats every day, being consistent, seeing that there's something in the market that's trending. Like, this artist is going crazy, but nobody's providing people with these types of loops, because every time an artist goes crazy, there's copycats. So if there's copycats, there's going to be people that need the same type of beats. If nobody's making the loops, I can fill that. I can supply that. Creating your own opportunities by paying attention to what the people need. It's not waves. Peace.